Hi there. So in my last video, I said that I would maybe do a video on Jairus. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. So it says if you're staring at something in your life that feels too far gone, something that looks like it has already died, already ended, already slipped past the point of rescue. The story of Jairus' daughter is for you. This isn't just a miracle from long ago. It's a revelation of how Jesus moves towards what feels final and how his finished work speaks into places that look beyond hope. Jesus, okay, sorry. Jairus came to Jesus desperate. My little daughter is at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her so that she may be made well and live. And Jesus goes with him immediately. But on the way, there is a delay. Jesus stops to minister to someone else while Jairus watches the clock run out. Every passing moment feels like hope slipping through his fingers, and then the worst news arrives. Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further? That sentence carries the weight of finality. It's the voice that says it's over. Don't expect anything now. And here is the part that is so good. Jesus doesn't speak before the bad news, he speaks after. And the very first words out of his mouth are, do not be afraid, only believe. We often read that too quickly, missing its true power. But this is one of the most radical moments in the Gospels. Many of us think faith is something we use before things fall apart or go wrong. But there is still time. Oh, I'm sorry. When there's still time, still hope, still options. We pray to prevent disaster. We fast to avoid the worst. But Jairus is told to believe after the worst has already happened. Think about the times in your life when you've prayed, fasted, begged God to intervene, and then the thing you dreaded still happened. It's not just fear you're facing in those moments. It's the shock of trust of I'm so sorry, I keep messing up. It's the shock of Jesus seeming to come too late. It's the ache of, Lord, I trusted you. And now this? It can be really hard to trust him when what you dreaded has already become reality. This is exactly where Jairus stands, and yet Jesus keeps walking. The messengers assumed the story was over. They expected Jesus to turn around and leave, but grace doesn't walk away just because others believe it's finished. Jesus doesn't change his direction based on the report. He keeps moving toward the house because Jesus isn't only in control when you're hoping for a fix. He's also in control when all hope seems lost. When they arrive, the house is already filled with mourners, people who have accepted death as the final word. That's what the world does. It agrees with what it sees. Jesus speaks something different. Why are you weeping? The child is not dead, but sleeping. They laugh at him. The same voices that declared it was over now mock the possibility of life. But Jesus is not moved by their reaction. Under a performance mindset, death would be the end. Too late, too broken, too far gone. But Jesus steps into what looks final and redefines it. What feels irreversible to you is not final to him. Then comes the moment that changes everything. He takes her by the hand, something no one would do because touching a dead body made a person unclean. But Jesus is not contaminated by death. Death is reversed by his touch. Little girl, I say to you, arise. And immediately she gets up. But don't miss this. The miracle began long before she stood up. It began the moment Jesus said to Jairus, do not be afraid, only believe. He wasn't asking I'm sorry. Sorry. He wasn't asking Jairus to deny reality. He was telling him not to let fear amplify the bad news. For many people, trusting God isn't hard before the worst report. It's trusting Him after the report, when the thing you feared has already happened. That becomes the real test of faith. So the question becomes, what voice is shaping your situation after the bad news? Are you letting fear take over, or are you still following Jesus even when it feels too late? Because the story of Jairus' daughter tells us this: Jesus is not intimidated by what looks final. He keeps walking toward what everyone else has given up on, and his touch still brings life where death tried to settle in. So, isn't that good? Like, don't be afraid, only believe. And it's exactly what I feel like he's telling me. I feel like that's what he's been telling me from the beginning. I just wasn't getting it. When I was first told that, you know, it looked like cancer, and that doctor was certain basically that it was cancer, I remember, I feel like God told me, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, plans and not to harm you, plans for a future. Um, and I remember thinking, how? Like, what future? When I've always looked at cancer as a death sentence. And so when that's what he brought into my mind, I was like, how? What are you even talking about right now? I asked the creator of all things, how? Wow. Like, I can't believe myself. Like, that's awful to admit that I was just that weak. I was, I am, but you know what? With that kind of a mindset, we have to be careful what we say. We have to be careful what we believe. We, we need to guard our minds. Um, what you think and what you believe, what you say, has a major impact on what happens. Um, you gotta put your faith in God. You gotta trust Him and no one else, nothing else. When I had that mindset, I mean, I have faith in God. I saw Him do impossible things right in front of me. And so it was really actually stupid the way that I was thinking, a year ago. Um, but whenever I was, having that kind of a mindset, things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I wasn't doing well at all. I wasn't doing well mentally, emotionally, physically. My health was just going downhill pretty fast. I mean, they said it was a stage 2, very aggressive, you know, in March of 2025. And then by June, they were saying stage 4. And that's when you know, that's when all hope was taken off the table. They told me that the best that I could hope for was maybe a year if I did their treatments. And we would try to keep pain at, as minimum, at a minimal. But I don't, uh, I feel bad for my younger self. I feel bad for myself. last year. I understand it, but I really wish that I would have had a better mindset. That maybe things have went so far. Um, Things didn't start to get better until I changed my mindset and I put my faith and my trust completely in the Lord. Um, that's literally when things started to change. When I realized, what am I doing? Who am I believing? What am I believing? Where is my faith? Where is my trust? And that's when things changed. That's when I got my first good Zyto scan report. And that's when I started feeling better. That's when I started getting better. Um, it's so hard to believe that just back in September, I didn't even think I was going to make it to Thanksgiving. And once I hit that, I wanted to make it to Christmas. And I remember Christmas Day. It was such a beautiful day. I mean, it was just so full of joy and just peace. I know God was with us, and like some of you guys were incredibly, incredibly loving and kind. And what you did for us, I will never forget it. And I remember thinking, if this is my last Christmas, that was, I mean, it was literally such a gift. That day was just such a gift. There was just so much. My kids, it was just such, I mean, Gary and I had as much fun watching the girls as the girls, you know, we had as much or more fun than what they were, and they were having a blast. It was just a wonderful day. And then after that, I feel like I started having an even better mindset, and I started being able to visualize, you know, 2 months, being alive in 3 months. Um, I have a track phone, and I do every 3 months, you know, I buy a new track phone card. And I remembered whenever I would buy the track phone card and I would feel so guilty because I felt like I was throwing money away because I didn't know if I was going to be there to be able to use up 3 months of, you know, and just, I can't remember if it was January. I think it was January. I had to buy another track phone card, and I didn't have that feeling like you're not even going to be able to use this. Like, why are you buying it? And so I actually, like, I realized I had a big dumb smile on my face because it was so nice just being able to buy it and feel like, yeah, I'm going to be here in 3 months, you know? Um, um, it took a while to be able to get to that point, and it's so, it took a lot of work. Um, Just like I said, I didn't even think I was going to make it to Thanksgiving. Like, if I would have made it till then, I mean, I figured that would be amazing. And then Christmas, and then, but like now, as of today, like, I know I'll be here, you know. It's so dumb. I don't understand it. It's so confusing. Like, I feel like, yeah, I'm going to be here till summer. I'm going to be here, you know, I'll be here for Evie's birthday. But then, like, at the same time, like, I just feel like I'm good and I'm healed. But it's still, my mind is like still stuck. Like, I have a hard time, like, knowing and trusting that I have just as much of a chance as anybody else of being here till Alina's birthday. And I don't know why I can't. Oh, hmm, I don't like that. I'm just realizing, like, it's been a little while since I actually thought about it. Like, how far out, like, how much of a future can I see for myself? It shows me I have work to do as far as just letting go of things and just. I'm sorry. I'm just realizing that right now on this. Oh, I thought I was past that. But, hmm. So that's something that I need to work on. But, yeah, so I didn't start getting to feel better and all that stuff until after I changed my mindset. After I really, really put my trust in him. And I had to pray. I don't know how many times I prayed. Like, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And I know he's definitely helping me with that. Definitely, definitely. And I'm so thankful because life is so much easier when you when you can just rest in him and just lean on him, and just trust him. Um, but yeah, if you're going through something, you just gotta trust him. You just gotta put your faith in him. And if you ever get a cancer diagnosis, don't let what any doctor says get into your head. Don't don't come into agreement with it. And if they tell you that there's no hope, there's no chance, you know, what you're doing isn't going to work, do not come into agreement with that. Do not believe that. Don't take that. Don't let that in your mind, because that will wreck you, and it is so hard to get out of your mind whenever someone says something like that. And I'm actually nervous for my next appointment because, you know, I keep myself surrounded with people, positive people that believe in the Lord, people that know the Lord. And if you get around somebody that's like doubtful or like, oh, I don't know, don't um you don't want to be around people like that. You do not. That will take you and throw you down a hill. That's not good. Um, I surround myself with like encouraging people, positive people. Now, I know when I first got diagnosed, um, and I told people, which that's another that's another story for another time. Um, People didn't always agree with what I'm doing, especially in the beginning. They felt like I was giving up. They they didn't agree with it because they didn't understand it. Um, they love me, they care about me, and they meant well, and I know that, and I love them for that. But um, yeah, I'll say that for another time because looks like we've been on here for almost 20 minutes. Sorry, didn't mean to keep you on here that long. But anyways, I hope you got something out of it. I hope that you can keep that in your head. It doesn't matter. You're still here, you're still breathing. God can pull you out of anything, He can fix anything, but you need to believe. It's like Jesus told Jairus, don't be afraid, only believe. That is so good. I love it so much. Um, it sounds so simple, but it's so hard. But it's not hard. But it is hard. Um, it's hard to explain. Um, like Jesus said, don't be afraid, only believe. And with the results, I don't want anybody thinking she's in denial or she's just reaching, she's grasping for something to hold on to, you know. The only thing I'm reaching for, holding on to is the Lord. And He's got me. He's got this. And at some point, there is going to be good news. Um, really, when you look at the PET scan results, it lists like other areas that do not have any signs of disease. And it doesn't name everything, but it names, numerous things. And when you can look at that and realize, yeah, it could have been there. And it's not. This is good news. It is good news. Um, it could have been a lot worse. And like I said, I'm feeling good. I'm not I'm not believing those results. I'm believing God. And I'm trusting Him. And I don't want you to look at the results as horrible results. Are they what we wanted? No. Are they what we expected? No. Did I want good results? Yes. But I've been realizing some things since I saw those results. And I feel like it almost it almost feels like something was unlocked for me. I feel like God is helping me to understand things on such a deeper level. It's like a realization. There's so much flooding into my mind. And I feel like I'm learning so much new stuff. And I can't, um, I want so bad to be able to put it out there and share it with everybody else because it is so good. Um, but it's hard to remember all of it. Um, I know it when I think it, but this probably sounds so confusing. I don't even know if I should post this anymore. Um, but He's with me. It just shows me God's with me. And He just wants me to keep my faith in Him and just let Him be my rest and let Him be my peace. Let Him be my strength. Just let Him be everything that I need. Because He is everything that I need. Of course I need and I want and I love my family. But I think you know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm getting at there. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go and talk to you later. You have a good rest of the day.